Hey guys, Crystal Grace here. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. So we are on the countdown. Well, I'm on the countdown to my 40th. Whoop, whoop. So we are going to do a couple of videos over the next couple of days, and that will be it. That will be a wrap. So if you do cross paths with this video at a later date, obviously disregard it because yeah. So we have this topic, which is all about current assumptions people are making about you. So they could be assuming these assumptions or these thoughts, opinions with others, or they could simply just be assuming these thoughts or opinions with themselves. So with that said, and a quick disclaimer, Pile 1, Pile 2, Pile 3. If a reading or if messages start to trigger you in any way, please opt out of the reading and trust the fact that that message is not for you today. Maybe my channel is not for you. I don't sit here to conjure negative, messages to ruin your day or life. So with that said, let's jump into it. What current assumptions, opinions do people have of you at this very moment? Pile number 1, the grapes. Grapes for me are very much affiliated with high value, high status sort of individuals. Whether or not you are of high value in society, so you're a socialite or like people put you on a pedestal, or the fact that you guys know your self-worth, you know what you deserve, you know what you bring to the table. You may even daydream about being served grapes by, the gender that turns you on the most as they fan you with a palm leaf, like the Greek gods. Some of you could have a strong affiliation with the Greek gods as well. You may lean on them for support in this life. I am seeing the vision of them, how they wear the white sheet. I know it's not a sheet, but it looks like a sheet, a sheet as a dress. So I'm kind of seeing some of you could have gone to a party recently, or maybe you're going to go to a party now. It's winter here in Australia, so I highly doubt that's going to resonate with any Aussies, but I definitely would say that would reflect anyone in Europe or America, UK, etc. But UK is still very cold in the summer. Like, no offense, guys, but you don't really get a summer. It's like fucking spring and autumn, like in summer there. I remember when I lived in Scotland and people were like sweating and it was 20 degrees and I was still wrapped up like it was winter. 20 degrees to me is like not that warm, but in saying that, my aircon is on at the moment and is set at 20 degrees. So irrelevant, but yeah, grapes are definitely a high value, high status sort of item. I would always link to that. I definitely feel like those of you who have picked this pile, you are very aesthetically beautiful. I think you have very unique features, and I think a lot of people find you very exotic, and I feel like with your energy, they find you very alluring. There's something very unique and different about you, which kind of makes you very desirable is what I'm hearing. So that sounds like a nice little energy check-in for you. Let's go. Let's find out what assumptions people are making for pile number 1. No reversals. Wow. Sorry, I'm just shaking the camera all over the place. Probably making me car sick, motion sickness. Someone might be pregnant. Somebody might have a baby in the oven. Ooh, 6 of Pentacles. I don't know. I'm being told to take reversals for you guys. No reversals. All right, and there's your King of Pentacles. High value. Queen of Wands. Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll just fuck that, didn't I? One of these days. All right, so Six of Pentacles. Assumptions, opinions. Look, it's in a positive sense, right? Like in a positive light, the Six of Pentacles sort of leading your energy, like leading the readings energy here would indicate a couple of things, right? People find you, or like their opinions of you, their assumptions is you're somebody who looks quite generous. You're somebody who looks like who is very giving. They might see you as somebody who's very like selfless. Okay. There's something you may do for work. So something you might work with special needs or a nurse or something like that. So maybe these people see you in an environment where they see you as somebody who's very supportive, very kind. Okay. For others of you, I feel like people assume that you show a lot of gratitude for your life, what you bring, like all the experiences you've had, whether they're negative. I think all around the opinions or assumptions of you are heavily positive at this time, because all of these cards are fairly positive. Nine of Wands, you know, she looks a bit disinterested, but I don't think that's a negative energy for me, and we'll get to that. But overall, people's current assumptions of you are highly positive. So I guess why I'm sort of emphasizing that is if you feel like people's assumptions or opinions of you are quite negative at this time, this is probably not your pile, is all I'm getting at. But yeah, I think Six of Pentacles is a very vibrant energy. You are somebody people assume has a lot of material wealth here, and we see that here with the King of Pentacles and also the Queen of Wands. The Six of Pentacles is also like a breadcrumbing card for me, so I don't know if people assume that you breadcrumb people or people breadcrumb you because you're so generous and so giving and kind. Okay, I would say it's that. People probably assume it might be easy to breadcrumb you. It could be easy to manipulate you because you wear your heart on your sleeve as well here. So with that said, well, let's move into the remaining spread. So the Nine of Wands, I would have to say people are currently assuming you as somebody who is very resilient in this life. You have this sort of, you might have a guard up, so they could feel this energetic guard. But at the same time, I feel like what they assume is you're somebody who has overcome a lot of challenges in this life. And because of that, it's made you very resilient, you're very persistent, and you're somebody who could be actually quite close to some kind of success here. So I don't know what you're doing in your life. If you've got some sort of project happening, people assume that you are very close to success, but they see you already in the light of the King of Pentacles here. So people already put you on a very high pedestal here, and it's good. These cards definitely connect to this grape energy that was coming through. So it's always nice for me to get that confirmation with my energetic downloads. But yeah, I also feel like people with the Nine of Wands may feel or assume about you, you're a person who I don't know, you're kind of like a person who will push forward with determination. Like you will work really hard to achieve whatever it is you need to achieve. But I kind of can't help to look like she looks very disinterested and bothered. I actually feel people assume that they can't just sort of come towards you and I don't know, just blurt out anything. Like they need to actually come acting in the right way. You seem like somebody who's already seen it all, gone through a lot. Maybe you've experienced a lot or lived a lot of lives in this life. So people sort of assume you're a person who probably finds them really boring to talk to. They might find you that you might actively not listen to what they're saying when they are talking to you because they're boring. So I kind of feel like people assume that you will find them boring. This could be romantic suitors, especially when you start talking about your goals and your dreams and the wins and your failures. Maybe you've traveled a lot. people just have this feeling that you will get bored of them. Like they can't bring to the table what you can bring to the table. And as I say this, they assume you're in a Queen of Wands energy. So they assume you're somebody who's very confident, very passionate, very self-assured, very charismatic. You know, you have this very vibrant energy and you're very optimistic, even though that you have endured a lot of pain and struggles and bullshit in your life. So people assume this. You know, they probably also assume that you're a very independent person as well, which we confirm that here with the King of Pentacles. Now, there is a strong sexual energy around the Queen of Wands, right? This is something that would suggest to me people assume you would be a very passionate lover. You'd be a person who'd be quite fertile as well. So, like, people might assume you are seeking, you know, somebody to start a family with. Being the fact that the Queen of Wands is linked with an energy being very open and wanting to find a deeper, intimate connection with somebody at this time. So if you are actively dating, your suitors are picking this up. Like, they can tell with your energy how you behave. They know they have to come at you in a right way, or else you will just move forward. You've got options here with the Chariot. Okay, I've never really connected this, but I feel like people see you as somebody, because you're so confident. And it's funny, we've got both two cats on the table at once. So I feel like what people assume about you is you have many suitors around you at this time, but you're not afraid to, like, run these people over. Like, you're not afraid to run people down, because you know your worth. You've already gone through the struggles and the hardships. You already know, like, people assume you can see right through their bullshit. You can see right through manipulation. Like, they can't love bomb you. They can't like try and coerce you into doing anything you don't want, because you will be like, I'll run you fucking down, motherfucker. Like, so yeah, there is this very strong sort of arrogant Aries energy I'm picking up, but not in a very malicious way. It just means, like, I take no shit. I know who I am. I know what I bring to my for my families and my friends. Like, you're a good rounded individual here, and people can see that. You're very good with money. You make very smart financial decisions, is what these people assume, or what their opinions are of you. So assumptions can be false information, but I kind of feel with this pile, this is very accurate information. People are making the right assumptions about you. Their opinions of you are coming from maybe conversations they're having with you, or other people might be gossiping about you, and that's where their opinions or assumptions are coming from. Well, like, if that's how pile one acts, like, that must mean, like, you know, they they are very determined, they're very self-assured. Like, you could be very single at this time and you could be on the hunt, you could be on the prowl, but at the same time, you're not going to settle with anyone. Like, you're very picky and very selective, is what I feel with the Queen of Wands. Now, the Chariot, right, is a card that, again, sort of on the back end of the Nine of Wands, it's a card that talks about somebody, you know, having a lot of victory. I fucking love you, man. You're so good. I love it when you fuck up the cards like that. Yeah, so the Chariot would indicate to me, people assume that you have your success stems from all the obstacles and challenges you've been able to overcome. Like, you're a person who fights for success. You're a person who fights for freedom even. But you're somebody who's very ambitious, or at least this is what they assume. You're somebody who has a lot of willpower, self-control. You're a very focused individual. Like, you're a boss bitch, like a boss dude, whatever you want to call it yourself. You're a person who also has their emotions in check. So people assume that they don't know if you like them or not, because you don't really let on. So people don't know if you don't like them, and people probably know that you do like them. It's kind of weird. Like, you don't, I feel like this is more in a romantic sense. Like, people assume that you're not going to easily let somebody know if you're into them or not. Like, you make them work for it, is what I hear. Again, because you may have been ran over a few times. Like, your heart could have been stomped on a few times, or at least this is what they assume, and that's why you act the way you act now. So then we move into the Hermit. So I guess with the Hermit card, it can sort of give the impression that a couple of things. People might assume that they can't hide things from you because you'll always figure it out. Okay, like I look at this torch and it's being shined down onto the ground. It sort of gives me the vibe that people assume that you're a bit of a detective here. You will investigate. You're very connected to your higher self, or maybe like, you know, the other realm. Very spiritual person is what I'm picking up. Well, is what the Hermit is very linked to, is somebody who has done a lot of like self-reflection, introspection, and because of that they've learned to trust their inner voice, their intuition, right? So High Priestess, I'm seeing my third eye. So people assume that you are you have some kind of spiritual nature about you, which the Queen of Wands is also linked to that kind of energy. So it must be very physically seen. So it could be in your style of clothing, or maybe you wear certain jewelry that indicate this. It could even be like the quote you use in your bio on your social media, right? Could be just stuff the way you talk about, like especially coming back to the Six of Pentacles, showing a lot of gratitude. You'll find most spiritual people do show a lot of gratitude for the things that do happen for them, whether it's negative or positive. You see the silver lining in everything, and it's definitely the easiest way to live life, I believe. But yeah, the Hermit definitely tells me people assume that they can't hide things from you. And see how I get choked up? Like if they try and hide things from you, you will figure it out. Like you shine a light on people's darkness. So if people don't act right and come towards you, at least this is what they assume, you'll figure it out. Like, and I feel like with the King of Pentacles, to finish off your reading here, like people assume that like you don't care, like you shine a light on people's darkness because you don't need them. Like you have everything you need. The only thing you're probably don't have is maybe like a soulmate here, and if you do have your soulmate, then I would just say this is in reference to friends. You know, like you don't need anyone is what people assume. Like you're very self-sufficient, you're very disciplined, you're very abundant, you're very protective of your energy, you could be a smart business person, you're very secure in yourself, you're very stable, you're very grounded, you have everything. But there isn't another person here. So I don't know if you're lacking in some area of family, friends, or a lover. And so people just assume that you will like shine a light on people's bad behavior because you don't need them. You don't need somebody in your energy trying to fuck it up with their toxic energy like people can see that. Like, so I think this is a strong message for everyone who has been doing the work. And if you needed an energy check-in in regards to like, have you stopped attracting the wrong people? No, but those people are fully aware that you won't deal with their bullshit. So yes, we'll never stop attracting those sorts of people because they're very attracted to the light that you have, pile one. But what we can confirm here is that they won't take action towards you once they pick up on this energy. They see this in the beginning, but then they see all this, and then they'll drop off. If you wonder why people just drop off and move on, it's because they realize that you will shine a light on their darkness. And I also think because you are so spiritually connected, you would be the kind of people where karma instantly occurs to people. Like they know when they start to think negative things towards you or take negative actions towards you, things start to fail. And people eventually, I think probably more quickly, like faster now, are linking those failures to the things that they're thinking of you, because whatever they're thinking about doing to you is happening to them in instantaneously. So I think that's pretty good efforts on all of your part, and the fact that you've been doing the work with the Hermit energy here. So just a quick sign placements here. Obviously you guys love your Astro, so we have strong Cancer and Virgo energy, and then we've got fire energy with the wands, and we also have earth. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 2. Welcome to reading. Welcome to reading pile number 2. Do you know don't know why I fucking introed your reading singing, but the irony there is the fact we do have a guitar, and I didn't even think about that. I looked down and I was like, guitar, me being a weirdo. Okay. So I don't know if some of you are singing at the moment. Maybe you're a bit of a weirdo too, a bit quirky on the quirky side of life. Some of you may have don't you think this chick looks like Billie Eilish? So some of you may listen to Billie Eilish. Maybe you're trying to learn her songs, maybe on the guitar or something. Maybe some of you are musos. You really love music. Somebody's name starts with a H. Nirvana is also coming through. Come As You Are. What else? Country music is also coming through here. So some Zach Bryan. Definitely recommend listening to Zach. Chris Stapleton as well. Big shout out to them. Very cool, very, very mellow. Hate for Henry. Somebody could have a Henry vacuum. You'll know if you know. But Red Rocket. Things could be really fast paced for you right now. Pile 2 could be really busy. You could have a lot of like projects sort of coming up. You might be in a state of the calm before the storm also is what I'm picking up. I feel like you could be about to enter the fast lane, or you want to enter the fast lane. Either way, like things are going to start picking up soon. Like if you've been in a very stagnant energy, or you feel like life's been very stagnant, not a lot going on, I feel like things are about to start revving up for you. Broom, broom. I'm hearing like a really loud Harley Davidson engine right now. So there's a lot going on in this pile. Like I'm feeling my energy is very like high vibrational energy, which is really, really good. And I feel like a lot of you, like I'm looking over on like on this space is like random decks everywhere, but I see a Queen of Cups, and I definitely feel like a lot of you've finally got your emotional turmoil in check, is what I feel like. You know, you're still an emotional being, but I feel like you've learned how to master how to control your emotions and keep them under wraps. So not having outbursts as much as you used to. Like you're really starting to go, okay, well there's no point living in that energy because it's not going to allow you to get X, Y, Z done. You guys have a big old cup of love to give, okay? And I think a lot of people have probably used you and abused you on the basis of that. So let's get into it. If that sounds like yeah. Let's find out what people are assuming about you right now, what their opinions are. So for pile number 2, show me what people's assumptions are of them right now. Knight of Wands, eh? I'm hearing round, round, get around, I get around. So is that the Beach Boys? 2 of Cups. I'm feeling very musical, so I don't know. Maybe you guys have started singing again and you started to stop singing. One thing I found when I get depression is how I know when I'm in a state of depression, because sometimes you don't really know it's happening until it's like you're in the full blitz of it. But you stop singing. So I feel like, because I'm feeling very musical right now in your energy, because this energy was not visible wallsies in pile 1, so it's definitely your energy. It's nice to get different energy for each piles. It's good. But yeah, so what I'm picking up here is that you guys may be coming out of a state of depression, okay? Or maybe you needed to hear that message there, that when you stop singing and stop listening to music, that's when you know you're going in a downward spiral for someone. And then you'll notice like you're not singing anymore. That's your sign that you are having an episode, okay? And that's when you just gotta love and nurture yourself and eat yummy, healthy foods. Okay, let's go. This is quite interesting. The assumptions here. We do have 4 of Swords leading the energy to this reading. So we do have the Knight of Wands, the 2 of Cups, the Hangman, the Devil, and the Magician. Okay, so 4 of Swords, hey? So the overall vibe, people's assumptions of you. Okay, this has got something to do with you being very big on alone time, I would have to say. Very big on looking after yourself. So I think when people look at you and they feel this energy of the Four of Swords, is that you're somebody who's well rested, or you're somebody who looks quite comfortable in the idea of being well rested. Who is trying to call me? Well, that was weird. So I returned that missed call and he was like, hi, I'm after Roger. And I said, there's no Roger here. And he started laughing. He was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I said, that's okay. Good luck finding Roger. So I don't know. Anyway, that was weird. Four of Swords. Where were we? What people assume about you. I don't know. I just kind of feel like people, like Four of Swords is very solitude energy. It's somebody who's taking a break from love as well. So people could see you as somebody, maybe they're always seeing you enter beauty parlors or like in the nail store or like going buying skincare or something like that. You might have really nice skin. So I kind of feel like people look at you, or their assumption at this point in time, you're really focused on yourself, is what I feel. So people, I feel like these are more assumptions around people who are very close, have close ties to you. So there could be people who you work with, your family, your friends, because strangers aren't really going to know this energy of the Four of Swords. Strangers aren't really going to look at somebody and go, fuck, you're all about, I'm assuming you're all about rejuvenation. Like, that would be weird. That would be fucking weird. So yeah, I kind of feel like for a lot of you, if you pulled your energy back from your social groups and like maybe you're not talking to people at work as much as you would, maybe you've like stopped going on dates, stopped online dating, people's assumptions of you at this time is like you're sort of taking a break. You're really focusing on self-care at the moment, getting more rest. You know, maybe some of you could be really focusing, building some kind of, or building or creating some kind of sanctuary at home. So they could see you like in the homeware store. Yum, let's lick your toes on camera, you grub. That's so disgusting. Stop. Nobody wants to see you eating your feet. It's disgusting. Maybe they do. Maybe some of you like to get your toes licked. I don't know. Suck on my toes, John. Yeah, so some of you with this Four of Swords, it's like a energy about, you know, being really focused on taking a vacation from stuff that's stressing you out. So people could be assuming that you're pulling your energy back from them because they're stressing you out. Like, you don't want to stress over people and their BS anymore. Like, you need a break from people. So some of you could be taking a vacation and people are assuming that you need a break because like you're super stressed out right now. Maybe they're assuming that you need to be more in the Four of Swords here. Like, there's something going on with the communication. I feel like you're not communicating with people as regularly as you used to, is sort of what I'm picking up. So you probably are the kind of people who reach out to everyone more than they reach out to you. And I think you've probably stopped that. So people are sort of assuming that you've stopped that because you're really focusing on yourself at this time. So then we move to the spread cards. So Knight of Wands, my F-boy, F-girl energy. But this card does not indicate that. Like, the imagery on this card is somebody very solo carrying a tree on a scooter, Vespa, up the fucking highway in the middle of the desert. That's random. So this really correlates with this energy of taking a break from like your love life, although we have the Two of Cups. So I kind of feel like with the Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups sitting standby, like I'm kind of seeing more of a sequence for you guys. I think this main sequence here, a lot of people are assuming that you are taking a break from love. You've created some kind of stagnation or put a pause on love at this time because you attract toxic people, and in order for you to bring in the person that you desire or manifest the person into reality, you need to go on a break. You need to like put yourself in sort of like a desolate situation, a desolate I don't know if it's a desolate situation is not, like, if you're not aware of what that word means. Somebody said the other day, why do you use words I don't understand? And I was like, well, I'm sorry, but thank you for telling me so I can explain. And sorry if that sounded rude, but yeah, desolate is like, like there's nothing around, like it's fucking desert. Like it's in the middle of nowhere, right? So it's like people assuming that you are going and putting yourself in the middle of nowhere in order to, like, I don't know, maybe for some of you to find love, you know, because you're trying to change your perspective on how you view the gender that you are trying to bring in or trying to find here. I also feel like with the Magician, people assume that you are trying to manifest better suitors coming towards you. Like some of you have been ghosted a lot here. You know, obviously we have Pisces energy here, Capricorn. Is it Aquarius? And obviously fire and fire, air, and water. But yeah, like people could be assuming like you've not had that best of time with romantic suitors. So this seems to be heavily focused, assumptions seem to be heavily focused on your love life is what I feel pile to. Some of you could have come out of a breakup or something like that, and that's why people are assuming this. But yeah, like that's sort of a sequence coming through here with you guys. Now for others of you, okay, people could be viewing you, making the assumptions that you have a difficulty for commitment here. Like you're very charming, you're a person who likes to travel, you're a person who likes to take risks, especially on new romantic suitors. But you have a difficulty to commit to people. I think when you discover people have a different perspective on life that you're not really into. So I feel like when you realize people have like addictions or obsessions to something that are not of high value, you sort of like cut them off, is what I feel. I feel like that's what assumptions are being made about you at the moment. I feel like with the Magician here, what assumptions people make of you is that you attract very toxic sort of suitors. Like you're a person who could be on a break from your love life because you're sick of attracting the same old kinds of people here. You could be people who attract fuckboys who are very non-committal, people who sort of love bomb you, people who try and get you to change for them, like turn your world upside down. You know, they make you very codependent, they manipulate you. Like I feel like a lot of people make the assumptions that you have a lot of bad luck when it comes to love. Like there's a lot of karmic experiences you've have experienced here, and that's why I feel like these assumptions or opinions are coming from people who know you, because they seem to, like, I'm feeling very close to knowing, like seeing your scenarios and feeling the energy of what these people have done to you. So these people are sort of assuming that you keep attracting like non-committal types. Either that or you are this person to other people, which I doubt. Highly doubt I attract those sorts of audience to my platform. You know, and I kind of feel like people assume that this is all guided. Like I'm being really drawn to the lion here, and it is a representation of universal, like, interference, angel interference here. So I kind of feel like whoever these people are coming through, they're assuming, or their opinions is like this is divinely guided for you to understand maybe your self-worth, for you to maybe stop chasing the wrong kinds of people, for you to start, like, you know, focusing on yourself, rejuvenating your own energy, taking care of yourself. Maybe that's why these assumptions are sort of coming through. Now, that must have been a message that needed to happen. So I still want to read this as if it's not a sequence, because some of you might be like, no, I don't attract psychopaths. But yeah, so people with the Two of Cups, okay? some people might actually assume with the Two of Cups is that you are in a relationship, like that you have found some kind of soulmate and you're in a very beneficial relationship. Now, if you're looking after yourself and you're looking really healthy and happy and you're walking around singing, people are probably assuming you're in some loved up connection, okay? Now, with the Hangman, I would have to say people may assume that you, I don't know, you might lack direction, you know? There could be something about your energy that makes people assume that you're not really sure. Like there's this energy of like uncertainty about you. You might look kind of confused even. But the fact it's also sitting next to, you could be confused in maybe your sexuality, like you don't know if you want to be with, you know, what kind of gender that you want to be with. I also feel like with the Hangman, it's a card that will talk about somebody feeling really trapped and confined. So if you have pulled your energy back, maybe people are feeling or assuming that they've made you feel very trapped and confined in their space, their energy. Maybe they're always leaning on you. So if you've pulled back your communication, this is their assumptions. The Devil card would sort of indicate people could assume you have some form of codependency or drug addiction or like alcohol addiction, smoking addiction, shopping addiction. There's all sorts of addictions. There's not just one. Food addiction. So yeah, I don't know. Like it's sort of giving me the vibe that what vibe is it? What vibe? What vibe are we getting? I don't know, like a sense of dependency on something, right? People might assume you're very dependent on your partner if you do have a partner. I don't know. It's like this can talk about confined and feeling trapped, but so does this card. So there's this heavy energy here. There's something that people assume you're addicted to. So whatever it is people keep saying you do, that's obviously a message specifically for you, because the Devil card is something about being very attached to something and not being able to let go of, feeling very chained to it. You know, we do have like light and dark here, so people might just assume you're a little bit like all zen, but then you very much go like fuck yourself sort of vibe. Now with the Magician, to finish your reading here, the Magician would indicate assumptions have something to do with some kind of intellect, like your logic, like you look like somebody who's an intellectual maybe. They might assume that you seem like to always be taking actions or moving through life through logic as opposed to moving from an emotional stance. You definitely give people the assumption that you have a lot of power within you. You could be some kind of magician, not musician. Has anyone seen that? It's so funny. I'm not a magician. No, a musician. I'm not a magician. Okay, I give up. That is so funny. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. It was pretty funny though. She was so random. But yeah, like the Magician is definitely a card that also talks about somebody being very committed to their happiness, right? Somebody who's very committed to trying finding happiness and like exalting anything that comes towards them that is going to put that at jeopardy. So I think people are very much assuming that you are like manifesting happier times for your future. You're a person who's seeking new opportunities and new experiences. You are trying to like maybe lean on all of your resources of your own, nobody else's, or maybe that's just their opinion that you are very resourceful when it comes to your life and your life choices as well here. So that is what I have for you, pile 2. Very unique reading as opposed to pile 1. But yeah, thank you for your time. I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. I'm feeling fucking hungry. So I don't know if you guys are feeling hungry, but you know what I see here? I see a piece of bread with a crumpet and an egg. So I feel like for a lot of you, you could be really big on brekkie eating. You may find breakfast to be your favorite meal of the day. You might eat breakfast food for dinner. But there's something about a crumpet here, crumpets and eggs, which is like, you know, you do you guys. I prefer honey. I don't really like honey, but I'll eat it on a crumpet. So there could be something about your breakfast choices that don't make much sense, but you enjoy it. You could be allergic to eggs here, or you could just love eggs. Do you know, I went to a psychic a few years ago in Newcastle. She was pretty cool, but I don't really know how much information she got accurate. Anyway, she definitely put me on a path of like thinking some people were certain people that they weren't. Are fucking mental. But anyway, she would eat 18 eggs a day, she told me. I was like, brother, And anyway, yeah, so I don't know. Some of you might live on eggs, protein. You could have a high protein diet. You may like eat toast every day. You could be a person who's a heavy bread eater here. Crumpet though, do you know what a crumpet is? If you don't, get amongst it. I don't eat those sorts of things because my body doesn't like them. If I eat bread, I have to like... I love this cat. She's such a little puppy. If I eat bread, it makes me feel sick. So gluten intolerance here for some of you. Cookie egg. You might like scrambled eggs, fried eggs, poached eggs. Little Lena. You might like Little Lena. All right. That's a nice little energy check. So let's find out. We have 10 of cups. Let's find out, what are people assuming about pile number 3, please. I'm going to cut your claws. Grandma's coming tomorrow, so we will do that. Squish your bushy over that way, thanks. Sorry, shaking the camera. 7 of Wands, eh? What do people assume about pile number 3? All right. Ooh, judgment. Not afraid of a pity party. No, I don't know what that means, but... Okay, we have judgment leading the energy to your assumptions. Are we good? Yeah. We have 7 of Wands, 6 of Wands, the Star, the Knight of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles. All right, the Star is Aquarius energy, and then we've got air, fire, and we have earth. And from memory, I've lost my little charty-warty. Who's Shay? Is yeah, that's weird. I've never known the judgment card to be linked to Leo. I'm just jumped on Google, but that can't be right. Where is it? The moon. Oh. That's dumb. I hate it when... what was that one? Yeah, that's weird. It's linked to fire. I'm so confused. I thought it was like Aquarius or Sagittarius, which obviously Sag. It must be Sag. I've really gotta... The zodiac sign of judgment is there is none. Well, that's a lie. There's definitely a zodiac sign. I've lost my little chart I made, and anyway, I'm not a fucking robot. There's only so much I can remember in the heat of the moment. Okay, judgment. People's current assumptions about you. Okay. Obviously, it's a card that's all about some kind of self-awakening. No, I would say it's some kind of an awakening. Maybe you've just had some kind of rude awakening. People could be assuming there's some sort of renewal about you. You've sort of self-evaluated and you're like, you know what? I'm calling for like judgment day on thyself. Okay, so I don't know if you've been a person who is very negative on yourself. Like maybe you've been exposed to a lot of like bittery backhanded compliments, like people trying to put you down, body shame you, tell you shouldn't wear that when like that's what you want to wear. I feel like what people are assuming about you is you've had some sort of self-realization. There is something like a sense of renewal about you, and like you've awoken to thyself is sort of what I feel. Like you're clapping back now is what I'm hearing. People's opinions about you is if they come for you, you will come for them is what I feel. Like you're not a person who's afraid to stand up for yourself. You're not afraid to stand up for the underdog as well. Like I'm seeing you as this person here and you have followers or something. People could be assuming you're very popular and people listen to your opinions and have listened to what you have to say. I feel like you guys are in an energy right now that's making people assume that everything that you have to say is for a reason. Like you are here to do big things, great things. Pile 3 is what I feel. You're a person who isn't afraid to take accountability when you have done the wrong thing. I think you know when you are to blame in a situation. I think you people assume you're a person who can forgive. You are big on forgiveness even if people have done wrong by you. So people assume, making the assumptions or have the opinions based off other people's assumptions, that you're a person who is got high, like you walk this life through high moral ground. So you are forgiving, you probably don't forget, you're a very composed individual, but you're not afraid to clap back. But when you clap back to people, it's in a very diplomatic way. Like you don't like lower yourself to be beneath these people. You clap back in a way that makes those people sort of have a reality check. So people assume not to come at you because the clap back won't be one that they can handle emotionally, mentally, maybe spiritually. Is pretty strong energy here, to be fair. So let's move into the spread. So 7 of Wands is a card that would indicate people's assumptions about you is that you have very healthy boundaries. Your boundaries are set in place and you will fight any motherfucker. And, you know, put anyone sort of in their place because you have put in so much effort. You have overcome so many challenges to defend yourself, to keep your to keep yourself protected. So people assume you're a person who's not afraid to fight and defend, you know, and this has actually put you in the limelight is what people assume. People assume that because you have set healthy boundaries, because you've overcome a lot of competition, people may assume you've probably had a lot of people try and compete for either your attention or try and keep you down to keep you oppressed. So you didn't come into the 6 of Wands energy. Like people assume that you're quite famous, you're quite popular here, you have societal recognition here. Like people, when you walk through a crowd, people assume everyone looks at you. People may assume that you have this level of stardom here. Like to have the 6 of Wands and the star next to each other, there's something you're communicating to the world or to the people around you that make people see you in the light of the 10 of Pentacles. Like this is big energy, guys. People are very much assuming that you're a person who's definitely a person who's put in a lot of effort into themselves, into who they represent, who they are in this life and where you're sort of going. You're not afraid to tell people to get fucked. That's definitely what I'm picking up here. And the reason why that is because you've got a lot of self-confidence, which is stemmed from hard work, right? I'm also sort of seeing like the Eight of Pentacles in my third eye. You're a person who's really working hard towards success, financial stability. You know, you could be a person who's really working hard towards getting a promotion at work, so leveling up, whether that's through like studying or like doing little certificates or doing overtime, whatever. But you're definitely a person that people are assuming that you are very successful or you're on the way to a lot of success. There's something very victorious about you, very prideful as well here. And people assume that you receive a lot of recognition somewhere. It could be online. I don't know what you're doing online. Definitely feel, if you feel comfortable to share, but the star would indicate there is some level of fame here. You're very got to do with content or some level of creativity. Something that you're creating is very healing, very spiritual as well. Like, you know, talking about the whole body shaming, like we do have the star here who's naked. So some of you could be healing your own body dysmorphia challenges here as well. Just a side note, people could assume that about you, and that is why you're a lot more confident now in whatever it is you're wearing or not wearing. But yeah, the star is obviously a very inspirational energy, so people might assume that you're inspiring people through some form of communication here with the star and the Knight of Swords. People assume that you have a very strong healing energy as well. They may even pick this up when you're intimate with them. Like, you might have a lot of past lovers that, you know, do a lot of reflecting on the time that they've spent with you, especially intimately, and how they felt after those moments of being intimate with you. So everything you touch turns to gold is what I'm hearing. The star also talks about promotion. So people could be assuming that you're on the verge of a promotion at the moment. You're on the verge to some kind of big transitional period in your career is what I feel. Like there is a strong emphasis here on security and stability in the career space. I feel like big things are coming towards you guys. You just be ready for it. You might be like, no, there's nothing coming big towards me. Sometimes it'll just come out of nowhere. The more you focus on healing, the more the universe rewards us. So remember that, pile 3. The more you focus on your spirituality, the more also the universe will reward you. But you're definitely got people assuming that you have reached your financial goals. You're in a very, very positive state of affairs when it comes to your abundance here. But yeah, the Six of Wands, the Star, and the Knight of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles, people see you are about to accomplish something quite large in whatever you are communicating, whatever you're working on at this time. People feel that you're very famous for it. You're very recognized for it. And I think that's amazing. I think if these assumptions are accurate, I think people might be viewing your content and realizing like you're going to make it big. Like the Ten of Pentacles is a very high value monetary card, right? So people are assuming whatever you're creating and putting out to the universe is going to lead you to a lot of success. You're really good at whatever it is you're doing. And I think people are very like these assumptions probably more opinions than assumptions, I feel. But yeah, the Knight of Swords is one that talks about, you know, people assuming or their opinions is you're very, very direct, you're very focused, you're very ambitious. You could even be a perfectionist here. But you could also be very opinionated, but your opinions are making you powerful. Your opinions are taking you places. You could be opinionated. You could be like, people could assume you're a bit arrogant. But your arrogance and your ambition and your opinions are leading you to down a very successful road here with the Ten of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords can also talk about somebody having commitment issues. So if any of you are like really focused on work life, people could just be assuming that you're not really got space for love because you do have commitment issues. Maybe you've been burnt in the past. Maybe you're a person who gets bored easily in relationships as well, or maybe you have fears about intimacy. So that's why like people assume that you're not taking action or taking a leap of faith towards love because of those sorts of situations or essence of the Knight of Swords. Your energy is very easy to read. Like, I feel like people assume you have very open energy at the moment. They can come towards you when it's about work life. I don't feel like people are assuming like you're open to love. So I don't feel like you have a lot of suitors sort of actively pursuing you. They're admiring you from afar, is what I feel. A lot of people are watching you online. A lot of people are watching you at work. A lot of people are talking about you because you have some level of fame here or some level of success. The cat's out of the bag is what I'm hearing. So good on you. Kudos to you guys, because it takes a lot of determination and work to get to where you are today, and you've overcome a lot. Like, to be able to learn how to set boundaries can take a lifetime, can take many lifetimes, you know. But yeah, and then we do have the Ten of Pentacles. Again, it's fantastic energy. So people are definitely assuming there's some kind of wealth to your foundations now. There is a strong stability about you. Maybe there's like some essence here about your family and where you've come from. Like, you've come from a really good background. You've come from a wealthy, privileged family here. I'm hearing no from somebody watching in the audience. But I feel like with the Ten of Pentacles, people assume you're somebody who's very traditional. You're somebody who wants to leave a legacy here. And that's coming back to this energy. Like, I'm feeling more called to, there's something major going on here. There's something major you are doing. And I think you're here to get a message out. So please get it out. Don't be shy and just put it out there if you haven't yet done this. You know if you're called to do this sort of stuff and when you're not. I do believe that. You are about, like, people are assuming that you're trying to set down healthy roots at the moment to build wealth, to build stability if you haven't already started. You have this strong, heavy focus on long-term security. So yeah, I definitely feel like there is a lot of positive assumptions about you. You mean business at this time, but people on the, like, the overall thing that people are assuming about you is you're destined for greatness. Pile 3, you're destined for big things. You're destined to help some kind of subgroup within society here in something that you can confidently talk about and actively talk about to others. So if you haven't sort of started doing that, I would say start looking into it and get that ball rolling. But thank you, and I'll leave you there. Sending love and light. Bye.